Yes.
Prince Harry broke down in big boy tears as he gave some testimony today in his lawsuit against the Daily Mail, claiming that they have made his wife's life an absolute misery.
About Meghan Markle's misery, and he was told to stop arguing back by the judge. Well, Prince Harry was giving evidence in his privacy claim against the publisher of the Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday in the High Court today.
Devastating moment for Prince Harry's reputation and credibility, as he argues with a judge while in the dock, contradicts himself, appears to fib about using the pseudonym Mr. Mischief.
In court, I feel like every time we come on here, Prince Harry's in court, he doesn't look great in the court sketch, I'm going to be honest.
Well, as we all know, Prince Harry is in the UK. He is testifying around this case that he has against the Associated News.
And pig-headed Harry started arguing with the judge. This was just part of their exchange.
Everything going on with Harry today, I feel like it's a need to talk about his big boy man tears. He's so emotional, guys. His poor wife, she lives in misery in her $16 million mansion with her 4.4 million followers on Instagram, her Netflix deal, her show on Netflix, all these sorts of things, and she's so miserable.
Prince Harry, you're crying on the stand. In life, we don't always get what we want, right? We want friends, okay? We've all been in that situation. We want a friend, a loved one, a relative to take accountability, to apologize. It doesn't happen, okay? You're expecting a big newspaper conglomerate to come crawling to you to apologize. It's not gonna happen. You can either move on with your life.
What happens when a prince walks into court expecting justice and walks out looking like he lost control of the room? Because that's exactly what happened here. Prince Harry didn't just testify in court this week, he unraveled, and it happened in real time, in front of a judge who had clearly seen enough. Let's talk about what really went down, because the headlines don't even begin to cover how messy this got. So, picture this, January 22nd, 2026, London, High Court. Prince
Harry's evidence came forward a day. So Harry originally wasn't meant to be giving evidence until tomorrow. Now, I think it scrambled him a bit. He seemed uneasy from the moment he arrived. He didn't really settle properly in the witness box, and he came in, and Anthony White very cleverly immediately got him onto this thing of being part of the institution lane, and right from the off, Harry was on the defensive and very bristly and very abrasive. And the judge intervened 3 times to try and calm him down. I mean, the first time, which was the one that you showed there, he was actually quite sympathetic and he was quite like, look.
Harry walks in thinking this is going to be his moment, the big one, the stand against the British tabloids, the final reckoning. This is supposed to be serious, controlled, almost cinematic. He's suing Associated Newspapers Limited, the publisher behind the Daily Mail and Mail on Sunday, accusing them of illegal information gathering going back years. We're talking alleged phone hacking, private investigators, the whole tabloid horror show. The claims stretch from 2001 to 2013. 14 articles, massive implications, and a huge amount of money on the line. Roughly $38 million, depending on how this all shakes out. This isn't just Harry either. He's leading a group of 7 claimants, including Elton John and Elizabeth Hurley. Big names, big expectations. This was supposed to be his victory lap against the press he says destroyed his life. Instead, it turned into a courtroom car crash, and it didn't take long. The moment Harry took the witness stand, something felt off. He wasn't calm, he wasn't measured, he wasn't doing that quiet, dignified thing lawyers beg their clients to do. He was defensive, bristly, emotional, and within minutes, he started doing the one thing you absolutely cannot do in front of a judge. He started arguing back. Not once, not twice, 3 separate times in one single day. Let that sink in. A British prince in a high court arguing with a seasoned media law judge whose entire job is literally this stuff. The Daily Mail's lawyer, Anthony White, begins questioning him, and instead of answering cleanly, Harry keeps pushing back, challenging the framing, debating the premise, trying to litigate the case himself from the witness box. The tension in that room reportedly shot straight through the ceiling. The judge had to interrupt. The first time, he was almost gentle about it, calm, professional, basically saying, "Look, you're doing what lots of people do. You're arguing the case instead of answering the questions. You don't need to do that. That's your lawyer's job. Just answer." Translation: stop talking. Let your legal team handle it. But
showing off their home, their pool, their lifestyle.
I think part of him is happy to be there because he misses the British culture and he hates being at the house with Meghan. I think Prince Harry would rather travel to London to sit in a courthouse than be stuck in the asylum with her in Montecito. Okay, I just think that's the truth. And then some other bad news in Harry and Meghan world, their show has been canceled. Season 3 of With Love, Meghan has been canceled by Netflix. They won't be doing any more, which I'm not shocked because nobody was watching it, okay? That show is like number 5,206 on the Netflix charts. So Harry and Meghan, I think they're done. Okay, Harry and Meghan, if I were you guys, your show's been canceled. You're not going to be the next Martha Stewart, Meghan. I mean, the fact that Meghan Markle had a cooking show and she moved pretzels from one bag into another was crazy.
Harry didn't stop. The second interruption came not long after, less patience this time. The judge could see Harry wasn't settling, wasn't listening, wasn't adjusting. And then came the third time. This is where it got ugly. Harry started arguing over what qualifies as a legitimate journalistic source, and that's when the judge shut it down completely, essentially telling him, "I am a media lawyer. This is literally my expertise. You don't get to lecture me on it in my own courtroom." That's not confidence. That's dangerous. Because here's the part a lot of people don't seem to grasp. This is not a jury trial. There's no panel of regular people to emotionally sway, no audience to perform for, no sympathy points to rack up. There is one person deciding the outcome of this entire case, the same judge Harry argued with 3 times in one morning. And that judge watches everything: tone, credibility, demeanor, consistency, all of it. Court observers said Harry looked rattled from the moment he arrived. Apparently, his testimony was moved forward by a day because the defense cut their opening arguments from a day and a half down to 90 minutes, a smart tactical move, and it completely threw him. He didn't look settled. He didn't look grounded. He looked like someone who had prepared for a speech, not cross-examination. And then came the tears. Harry's voice cracked as he told the court that the media had made his wife's life an absolute misery. He said it was fundamentally wrong that they were being put through this again when all they wanted was an apology and accountability. On the surface, that sounds emotional, even sympathetic, until you look at the timeline, because this case is about alleged wrongdoing between 2001 and 2013. Harry didn't even meet Meghan until 2016. She has absolutely nothing to do with the 14 articles at the center of this lawsuit. She wasn't mentioned, she wasn't involved, she wasn't there. So why is she suddenly the emotional centerpiece of his testimony? That question echoed everywhere, especially while Harry was standing alone in London, visibly emotional, reportedly close to breaking down. Meghan was 5,000 miles away in Montecito, and according to multiple reports, she was casually posting on Instagram that same week shots of their home, their pool, their lifestyle. The optics were brutal. This couple built their entire public identity on being united against the world, ride or die, us against them. But when Harry walked into what he calls the most important legal battle of his life, he did it alone. No Meghan in the gallery, no public show of support, just silence. And people noticed immediately. Comment sections exploded. Why is he even mentioning her when she has nothing to do with the case? Why is she posting online while he's falling apart in court? And honestly, it didn't help that this all came at the same time as more bad news. Their Netflix situation? Not great. Reports say Season 3 of With Love, Meghan was canceled, quietly. No big announcement, just gone. The numbers weren't there. The interest wasn't there. So while Harry is arguing with a judge in London, Meghan's lifestyle brand dreams are stalling back in California. That contrast stuck. Then things went from awkward to jaw-dropping. Harry complained in court about the media commercializing his private life. He said he has never believed that his life is open season to be monetized by journalists. And that statement stopped people cold, because this is the same man who released a 400-page memoir where he detailed private family moments, personal arguments, drug use, losing his virginity, military experiences, and even text messages between Meghan and Catherine about bridesmaids' dresses. He followed that with a Netflix documentary, giving cameras access to deeply personal moments. And before that, a globally televised Oprah interview discussing family conflict in detail. Harry has made millions monetizing his own private life. So, standing in court and saying the media has no right to do the same, that contradiction landed hard. One comment that went viral summed it up perfectly. If Harry wanted privacy, he wouldn't have published Spare. And the judge saw the problem too. He had to remind Harry again, calmly but firmly, that his job was to answer questions, not argue his case. Harry appeared to acknowledge it, and then did it again, and again. By the third time, court watchers said it was bad, really bad. Then the defense brought up Chelsea Davy, Harry's former girlfriend, the one he dated for years before they split in 2010. Several of the articles Harry is complaining about involve Chelsea, and during his testimony, he spoke emotionally about how the press affected her life. He even revealed that he called her the night before his testimony to talk about what really happened back then. Think about that. Chelsea is married now. She has children. She runs a successful business. She has stayed completely out of royal drama for years, and suddenly her name is dragged back into a courtroom circus she escaped long ago. People didn't miss the tone either, the emotion, the regret, the what could have been energy, all while his current wife was posting on Instagram across the ocean. It was uncomfortable, and not in a subtle way. Then came the Mr. Mischief moment. The Daily Mail's lawyers claimed Harry used a pseudonym, Mr. Mischief, on Facebook to contact journalists directly, including reporters from the Mail on Sunday. Harry denied it, flatly.
But the defense suggested they had evidence, receipts. That's when things started to feel really serious. Because when you're accusing journalists of illegal behavior and they come back with documentation showing friendly contact, invitations, shared social circles, your narrative starts cracking. One journalist even pushed back through legal channels, saying Harry had invited her to party with him in 2011. Not exactly the behavior of someone being hunted by hostile enemies. And that detail matters, because it suggests Harry wasn't just a passive victim of the media. He engaged with them when it suited him, and now wants to rewrite history when it doesn't. Then the whispers started. Reports that key members of Harry's legal team are stepping back, possibly resigning, possibly distancing themselves. That is not normal. Lawyers don't walk away mid-trial unless something has gone very wrong. Either the evidence isn't holding up, or the client's version of events is no longer sustainable. And suddenly, the defense strategy made sense. They came prepared. Emails, phone records, legitimate sources, calm, structured arguments. Harry's side leaned heavily on emotion, memory, and belief. And belief is not evidence. Multiple legal analysts pointed out that Harry repeatedly admitted he couldn't prove who leaked what. He said he believed it must have been illegal. He felt certain it was hacking. But when pressed for specifics, it got vague. And in court, silence speaks louder than shouting. Observers also noticed Harry kept drifting back to his general resentment of the press instead of focusing on the specific articles in question. That may work in interviews, it doesn't work in court. This trial isn't about feelings, it's about proof. By the end of the day, the mood around the courtroom had shifted completely. What started as a bold stand against tabloid power now looked like a risky gamble unraveling in real time. Every stumble was documented, every correction from the judge analyzed, every contradiction pulled apart online within minutes. In a case about controlling narratives, Harry lost control of his again. and the financial stakes are massive. If he loses, he could be on the hook for the Daily Mail's legal costs, tens of millions, on top of existing legal costs from previous cases. This lawsuit was supposed to be his payoff, his redemption arc, maybe even his financial reset. Instead, it's shaping up to be one of the most damaging public moments of his life. He's caught between two worlds now, the royal world he left behind, burned bridges with, and publicly criticized, and the Hollywood world he tried to build, where deals are drying up and projects aren't landing. This case was supposed to fix everything. Instead, he argued with the judge 3 times in one day. Public opinion didn't hold back. Comments flooded in. Court is for facts, not feelings. You can't sell your story and then complain about people talking about it. Maybe stop phoning the press if you hate them so much. The harsh truth is this. Harry wants to be seen as a warrior for justice, standing up to corrupt media power. But what many people saw instead was someone who wants full control of the story while still profiting from it. Someone who struggles with criticism but expects applause. Someone who wants it both ways. And that contradiction is catching up with him. The judge sees it, the lawyers see it. The public definitely sees it. The only question now is whether Harry ever will. So what do you think? Is this a necessary stand against media abuse, or is it shaping up to be one of the biggest public hypocrisy moments we've seen in years? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit like, subscribe, and stick around for more deep dives like this. And as always, thanks for watching.